Do you know why water is so powerful? Water carves through mountains yet flows gently in a stream. It takes the shape of any obstacle, yet nothing can contain it. I learned this. When you resist life, you suffer. But when you flow with it, you grow. I did not confine myself to tradition. I did not limit myself to what others expected. I became like water, adaptable, relentless, unstoppable. So tell me, are you flowing, or are you resisting? They looked at me and said, "You're too small." They heard my accent and said, "You don't belong here." They saw my face and said, "You will never be a leading man." At that moment I had two choices: accept their words and live within the walls they built for me, or break those walls and prove them wrong. Most people hear these words and believe them. They let others define their limits. They shrink, they hesitate, and they give up before they even try. But listen carefully. Limits are an illusion, created by those who have already given up. I refuse to accept their version of me. Strength is not measured by size, but by spirit. Intelligence is not defined by language, but by action. Where I came from did not limit where I could go, so I trained. I sharpened my body until it moved faster than the eye could see. I sharpened my mind until no rejection, no insult, no closed door could break me. I sharpened my spirit until I believed in myself more than anyone believed in me. They said, "You will never be in movies." I created my own roles. They said, "Your martial arts will never work in real combat." I proved them wrong. They said, "You can't be a star." I became a legend. I did not wait for approval. I built my own path and walked it with confidence. Now let me ask you, how many limits have you accepted just because someone told you they were real? How many times have you held back because you believed you were not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough? What if I told you the only thing holding you back is your belief in those limits? If you refuse to accept them, if you train harder, learn faster, push beyond every obstacle, then nothing in this world can stop you. They told me I couldn't, so I showed them I could. Now it's your turn. They say fear is natural. They say it's part of being human. But fear is the biggest enemy of progress. It is an invisible chain that traps people in mediocrity. It whispers doubts, feeds insecurities, and stops you before you even begin. I have seen talented men wither away because they were too afraid to take the first step. I have watched warriors hesitate in battle, not because they lacked skill, but because they allowed fear to control them. And I have seen dreams turn into shadows of themselves, living a life of regret simply because they let fear decide their fate. But I ask you, if you let fear rule your life, are you truly living? When I stepped into my first real fight, my heart pounded. My hands trembled. My mind raced. 1,000 thoughts screamed, "What if you lose? What if you're not good enough?" Then I realized something. These were just thoughts. They had no power unless I gave them power. So I took a deep breath, silenced the noise, and stepped forward. And in that moment, fear disappeared. Fear lives in the future, in the what-ifs, in the unknown. But the moment you act, it dissolves. I have never seen fear stop a man who keeps moving forward. But I have seen it consume those who stand still. Many ask me, how do I become fearless? I tell them, you don't. Fear never truly disappears. But the weak listen to fear. The strong act despite it. When I first arrived in America, they told me, "You will never be a leading man." They told me, "Your accent is too thick." They told me, "The world is not ready for someone like you." I could have let those words sink into my mind like poison. I could have believed them. But instead, I refused. I did not wait for permission. I did not wait for fear to disappear. I moved forward, step by step, until the world had no choice but to see me. And that is what you must do. Fear will tell you, you are not ready, you are not good enough. What if you fail? And I tell you, so what? Failure is not the enemy. Regret is. Every time I stepped into the unknown, faced an opponent stronger than me, or stood against doubters, I reminded myself, fear is just a voice. It has no hands to stop me. It has no chains to hold me back. It only has words, and words mean nothing unless you believe them. So now I ask you, what have you allowed fear to steal from you? How many opportunities have you walked away from because fear whispered, you might fail? How many dreams have you let slip away because you were too afraid to chase them? No more. If you want to be strong, you must face fear and move anyway. If you want to be free, you must break the illusion of fear. Fear is not real. You are. And the moment you decide to stop listening to fear, you become unstoppable. They will doubt you. They will tell you it's impossible. They will say you are not ready, not strong enough, not good enough. But what they think does not matter. What matters is what you do. You have a choice, right now, in this moment. You can be like the rest, hesitant, afraid, waiting for the perfect time. Or you can be different, bold, relentless, unstoppable. You can stay where you are, trapped by fear, limited by doubt, held back by excuses. Or you can break free, rise higher, and become the person you were meant to be. Because no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you greatness. No one will give you permission to be powerful. You must take it. You must earn it. You must fight for it. And the fight is not against others. It is against yourself, your fears, your doubts, your hesitation. They will try to stop you. They will whisper lies in your mind. They will tell you to stay small, to stay safe, to stay comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is where dreams die. Comfort is the slow poison that kills potential. And that is why you must destroy it. Step into the unknown. Face your fears. Take the first step, even if you don't feel ready. Because readiness is not a feeling. It is a decision. And the moment you decide, the moment you commit, the moment you step forward without looking back, you become unstoppable. Not because you have no fear, not because you never fail, not because the road is easy, but because you refuse to quit. No more waiting, no more excuses, no more fear. From this moment on, you move forward with power, with purpose, with absolute certainty. You are no longer just another person. You are a force. And the world, it will have no choice but to step aside, because you are unstoppable.